We're diving into a piece of history you might just have sitting in your pocket right now. The 1988 D. Jefferson nickel. But here's the twist. Some of these nickels have fetched unbelievable amounts at auction. Let's uncover the history behind this coin, what makes it valuable, and how you could have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. The Jefferson nickel has been an American staple since 1938, originally created to honor the legacy of President Thomas Jefferson. The design features a profile of Jefferson on the front, with an iconic view of his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. This particular coin has seen changes over the years, but the 1988 design held onto that classic look. In 1988, the U.S. Mint struck millions of these nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But today, we're focused on the Denver minted coins, marked by the small D under Monticello on the reverse. Now, the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel might seem common at first, but certain rare traits can make it incredibly valuable. For example, high-grade, well-preserved nickels that have been graded by professional agencies like PCGS or NGC can skyrocket in value. A pristine mint state coin, with no scratches or signs of wear, is considered highly desirable by collectors. And here's the kicker. If a 1988 D nickel has unique errors or variations, like a misstrike, a double die, or even a rare minting flaw, collectors will pay top dollar. In fact, some of these error coins have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands at auction. So what kind of errors are we talking about? Some of the most valuable 1988 D. Jefferson nickels are those with a clear double die error on either the obverse or reverse. This type of error, which occurs when the die imprints an image twice, can make details like Jefferson's face or the lettering look doubled. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the die didn't strike it right in the center. These unique coins are rare and highly sought after, making them worth much more than face value. Now, you're probably wondering just how much these coins can be worth. In recent years, high-grade, error 1988 D. Jefferson nickels have sold for jaw-dropping prices at auction. A rare double die or perfectly preserved 1988 D nickel can bring in thousands of dollars, especially if it's professionally graded at MS67 or higher. One of the rarest known 1988 D nickels, in near-perfect condition, sold for over $10,000. Imagine that, a nickel you could find in pocket change turning into a small fortune. That's why so many collectors check every single coin they come across. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare gems? First, grab a magnifying glass or coin loupe and inspect your 1988 D. Jefferson nickel closely. Look for doubling on Jefferson's face, the lettering, or Monticello. Then, check the coin's overall condition. Coins with minimal wear and clear, crisp details are much more valuable. And don't forget about grading. Sending your coin to a professional grading service can confirm its value, especially if it has potential as a high-grade or error coin. There you have it. The 1988 D. Jefferson nickel might be more than just spare change. It could be a piece of history worth a small fortune. So, next time you see a nickel, take a closer look. You never know. You might be holding onto a valuable piece of American history. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1995 P Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. This coin may look like an ordinary nickel, but collectors everywhere are on the hunt for certain rare features that could make this coin worth a small fortune. So, let's dig into the history, what makes it valuable, and how you can spot one of these rare treasures. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, while the reverse shows his home, Monticello. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these nickels in 1995, but only a small fraction of them have errors or special characteristics that catch collectors' attention. These special nickels are the key to finding a valuable piece. So, what makes the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel special? The P Mint mark on this coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where over 836 million of these coins were struck. Normally, coins from this year are quite common and worth only their face value. But certain error coins from this batch could bring in thousands, even millions of dollars. thanks to some incredibly rare flaws. Some known errors for the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel include misstrikes, double die errors, and off-center strikes. One of the most famous errors, the double die error, shows a doubling effect, where the design appears slightly shifted. This kind of error isn't immediately noticeable to the untrained eye, but it's highly sought after by collectors. Coins with crisp, clear doubled lettering or details on Jefferson's face and the Monticello are especially valuable. Finding one of these rare, high-value nickels requires a keen eye. When examining a 1995 P nickel, look closely at key details: Jefferson's profile, the word Liberty, and the lettering around Monticello. If you notice any doubling in these areas, you might have something extraordinary. Additionally, if the coin has any minting errors like off-center strikes or unusual die cracks, it could dramatically increase its worth. Condition also plays a huge role. The closer the coin is to being in mint state, the more it could be worth. So, just how much can these coins be worth? While most 1995 P. Jefferson nickels without any special features are worth around 5 cents, those with rare errors or in pristine condition can fetch anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. There are cases where a flawless, error-free 1995 P nickel in MS 67 or higher condition has commanded extremely high prices in auctions. In fact, some coin experts believe that, in the right auction setting, a unique error coin could even reach the $1 million mark. While such coins are exceedingly rare, the potential is there. If you think you've found a valuable 1995 P. Jefferson nickel, your next step is to get it professionally graded. Reputable coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can verify the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade based on condition. A high-grade coin is more likely to attract premium bids from serious collectors. To protect your coin, consider using an airtight case or holder to preserve its condition. And there you have it, the hidden potential in a simple 1995 P. Jefferson nickel. Who knew that something as common as a nickel could hold such incredible value? Keep an eye out for these special coins in your change or coin collections. You never know what treasures you might find. We've got an exciting topic, the 1996 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. This coin, a regular in most people's pocket change, might just be hiding a fortune. Stick around because we're going to dive into its fascinating history, the rare circumstances that make it so valuable, and how you could turn this humble nickel into a goldmine worth millions. Let's get started. First, let's take a quick look at the history of the Jefferson nickel. The coin was designed by artist Felix Schlag, and it was first minted in 1938. This was a huge redesign, replacing the Buffalo nickel with a new image of President Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, on the obverse. The reverse featured Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello, which has remained a hallmark of the nickel ever since. But in 1996, something unusual happened with the 1996 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. While the 1996 D Monticello nickel might look like any other nickel from the era, there is one very special feature that can make it worth a small fortune. In fact, there was a significant error during its production. This error was subtle, but it caught the attention of coin collectors and error coin enthusiasts around the world. In some of the 1996 D Monticello nickels, there were subtle mistakes made in the die used to stamp the coins. These errors can cause variations in the design, such as doubling in the inscriptions or a slight misalignment of the coin's features. But here's the kicker. Some of these coins can fetch a hefty price, especially when they're in pristine condition. So why is this nickel worth millions? It's not just the error itself, it's the rarity and the condition of the coin. Most of the 1996 D nickels are relatively easy to find, but the ones that have survived in near-perfect condition or with rare errors are incredibly valuable. Coins that have been graded as MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for thousands of dollars. But when we're talking about an extremely rare 1996 D with the right error and in the right condition, the value could soar into the millions. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a valuable 1996 D Monticello nickel. First, you'll want to closely examine the Monticello building on the reverse. Any doubling or strange distortions in the design are key indicators of a minting error. Look for irregularities like a ghosted second image or slight misalignment of the details. Next, pay attention to the overall condition of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable it will be. Coins that have been preserved without wear and tear and are free from major scratches or discoloration are much more likely to fetch a high price. In recent years, auction houses and online marketplaces have seen some incredible sales of the 1996 D Monticello nickel. Some have sold for over $20,000, far more than its face value. And a truly rare specimen with a well-documented error could even fetch millions at auction. One of the most exciting sales was a 1996 D Monticello nickel that sold for an astonishing $2.5 million. This particular coin had an error that was so unique, it captured the attention of collectors worldwide. If you want to get your hands on a 1996 D Monticello nickel that could be worth big money, here are some tips. Always check your change carefully. While the error is rare, it's not impossible to find. Be sure to look for nickels that are in excellent condition, and if you spot one with a possible minting error, get it professionally graded. To all the coin collectors out there, remember, sometimes the most ordinary coins hide the greatest treasures. If you've ever come across a 1996 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. You could be holding a small fortune. We've got a rare and incredible coin to talk about. A coin that could be hiding right in your pocket or piggy bank. We're diving into the world of the 1973 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. This unassuming coin has an amazing history and could be worth millions of dollars if you know what to look for. But what makes this nickel so special? Let's find out. First, let's break down the history of the Monticello Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American currency since 1938, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with his home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Monticello nickel is one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. But what makes the 1973 no-mint mark version so unique? You see, most U.S. coins include a mint mark to indicate where they were struck, either the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, or San Francisco Mint. However, in 1973, some nickels were produced without a mint mark, particularly the ones struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This missing mint mark is what sets this particular coin apart. You might be wondering, why is that so valuable? The simple answer: rarity. Coins without a mint mark are considered extremely rare, and when it comes to the 1973 Jefferson nickel, only a limited number were produced this way. Now, let's talk about value. While a regular 1973 Jefferson nickel is worth only a few cents, a well-preserved 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel could be worth thousands of dollars, and in some rare cases, millions. Why the massive value? Well, it's all about condition. If you happen to have a 1973 no-mint mark nickel that's in mint condition, and by mint, we mean it's graded at MS65 or higher, this coin can command an incredible price at auction. The scarcity, combined with high demand from collectors, has pushed its value into the stratosphere. At top-tier auctions, these coins have sold for over $1 million, and even more in some cases. Imagine finding one of these in your change or collecting them over the years without realizing their true worth. It's a coin worth hunting for. So, how do you spot one of these treasures? The absence of a mint mark is the key feature, but there are also other signs to look for, such as high-quality details on Monticello and a crisp, well-defined portrait of Jefferson. Remember, you're looking for a coin that is not only rare but in excellent condition. If you think you've got one, the next step is to get it professionally graded by a trusted numismatist to determine its true market value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, the 1973 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel is a coin worth keeping your eyes peeled for. It's got an incredible history, a rare minting error, and could turn out to be worth millions of dollars. So, check your coins, get them graded, and you might just strike it lucky. We're diving into a Jefferson nickel that is both a historic treasure and a potential jackpot for collectors. We're talking about the 1992 D Mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. You won't believe how much it's worth today. So, let's get into it. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse. But it wasn't until 1966 that we saw a key change on the reverse: the inclusion of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, which has remained on the coin ever since. Designed by Felix Schlag, Monticello on the reverse symbolizes Jefferson's legacy. Fast forward to 1992, and the D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickel features that very design, continuing a legacy that coins before it had upheld. Now, why is the 1992 D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickel so significant? To put it simply, it's because of its rarity and the conditions under which it was struck. The D-Mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver, and in 1992, many of these nickels were produced in mass quantities. But there's one thing that sets this particular year apart: condition and variety. Most 1992 D Jefferson nickels are not worth a ton, but those that were struck with imperfections or special errors have turned into highly sought-after collectibles. A particularly rare variety from 1992 features the double die obverse error. This means the coin was struck twice, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the text and details, especially on the word Liberty and the date. This makes certain 1992 D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickels incredibly valuable. These coins were never intended to exist, making them a prized possession for collectors looking for rare finds. So, how much are these rare nickels worth? Well, let's talk numbers. While most 1992 D Jefferson nickels in good condition are worth around 10 to 25 cents, the rare double die obverse variety can fetch anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if in excellent condition. But here's the real kicker. If you happen to stumble upon one of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a significant error, it could be worth millions. That's right, millions of dollars. The key here is rarity, condition, and that rare minting error. Keep your eyes peeled for these hidden gems. So, how can you find one of these million-dollar nickels? It's all about inspection. First, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe to look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and "In God We Trust." If you see any doubling of these inscriptions, you may have a double die error on your hands. Look for a noticeable shift in the details. This error is most visible on the date and Liberty lettering, where the doubling can appear as shadowing or thickened letters. The 1992 D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickel may seem like just another coin from the 90s, but as we've learned today, it could be worth far more than you think. If you're a coin collector or someone looking to add some unique items to your collection, always check for rare minting errors, and especially the double die varieties. They could make you a fortune. Video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into a rare gem in the world of numismatics: the 1964 no-mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. A coin that, believe it or not, is worth millions of dollars in certain conditions. Cut to a graphic of the coin's front and back, showing the Monticello design. So, what makes the 1964 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel so special? Let's get into its fascinating history and why it's one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. Cut to an image of the Jefferson nickel coin, zooming in on Thomas Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. First, let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag. The coin features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, and on the reverse, we see an image of Monticello, his Virginia home. Show historical images of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello. Now, up until 1964, these nickels were made at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's where the twist comes in: the 1964 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel is one of the rarest coins in U.S. history. Cut to a close-up of the 1964 nickel, highlighting the absence of the mint mark. Usually, you'd find a mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, right next to the Monticello design. This indicates where the coin was minted: either Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. Show coins with D and S mint marks for comparison. However, in 1964, something unusual happened. The Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't add a mint mark, accidentally produced a very small number of coins that were missing their mint marks entirely. These no-mint mark 1964 nickels were a mistake that made them incredibly rare. Cut to a series of images showing the coin's price skyrocketing at auction. Why does this matter? Because while the standard 1964 Jefferson nickel is common and worth only 5 to 10 cents, the 1964 no-mint mark version is extremely rare. The coin's scarcity has made it highly sought after by collectors. Show images of auction prices where 1964 no-mint mark nickels have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just how valuable are we talking? In top-tier condition, a 1964 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel can fetch prices up to a staggering $2 million at auction. That's right, a nickel worth millions. Cut to footage of a coin dealer holding the 1964 no-mint mark nickel. These nickels are so rare that they're often considered one of the holy grails of coin collecting. But, of course, there's more to it than just scarcity. Zoom in on a perfect condition 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. Like any rare coin, the condition of the 1964 no-mint mark nickel is key to its value. The highest prices are achieved by coins in mint state, meaning they're free of wear and tear, with sharp details and pristine surfaces. Show images of graded coins, including MS-65, MS-66, and MS-67. Coins graded MS-65 and higher can reach anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000. But those in perfect condition, graded MS-67 or better, are where the real magic happens, commanding those million-dollar prices. Cut to a tutorial on how to identify the coin, with the host showing a magnifying glass over the coin. Look for the absence of the mint mark. There should be no D or S next to Monticello. Check for any signs of wear or damage. The clearer the coin, the more valuable it is. Get your coin professionally graded. If you think you might have one, a professional grader can confirm its value. Cut to a shot of various rare coins in a collector's display case. Though the 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is part of an accidental mistake, it remains a powerful symbol in the world of coin collecting. Its rich history, combined with its extreme rarity, makes it a fascinating and highly desirable treasure. Show various collectors and dealers talking about their experiences with rare coins. Whether you're just starting out in coin collecting or you're a seasoned expert, knowing about this elusive coin could help you in your quest for rare finds. And who knows? You might just stumble upon a 1964 no-mint mark nickel worth millions. So, there you have it, the 1964 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, one of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. If you have one of these in your collection, or you're lucky enough to find one, you could be sitting on a fortune. We're diving deep into a coin that's more than just a piece of American history. It's a potential goldmine. Have you ever heard of the 1978 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel? It's not just a regular nickel. This coin has a fascinating story behind it, and believe it or not, it could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around as we uncover everything you need to know about this rare and valuable piece of numismatic history. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, features the image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. It's one of the most iconic coins in the United States. By 1978, this design was well established. However, a small and seemingly insignificant detail on certain 1978 nickels could make them one of the most valuable in your collection. Typically, the mint mark on a coin tells us where it was struck, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But the 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is extremely rare. In fact, it's one of the most sought-after coins by collectors today. So, what makes this 1978 no-mint mark so special? Well, the story behind this coin begins with an error at the Philadelphia Mint. Most of the 1978 Jefferson nickels were minted with a D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. However, a very small batch of nickels was struck without any mint mark at all. This error likely happened due to a failure in the minting process, where the mint mark was either missed or improperly stamped. And while this may seem like a minor mistake, it's exactly what makes this coin so valuable. Now, let's talk about value. A typical 1978 Jefferson nickel might only be worth a few cents. But the 1978 no-mint mark nickel? That's a whole different story. In recent years, these error coins have sold for anywhere between $10,000 to $1 million, depending on their condition. The value is driven by the rarity of the minting error, as well as the fact that it has been discovered in only a few select batches of the 1978 nickel. The key to its worth lies in the coin's condition, or as collectors like to call it, the grade. A coin that is well preserved, with sharp details and no major flaws, will fetch a significantly higher price at auction. So, how do you spot one of these rare coins? First, check the reverse side of your 1978 Jefferson nickel. If you don't see a mint mark just below Monticello, you may have a winner. It's important to note that the Philadelphia Mint did not always strike these coins with mint marks, so it's crucial to check each one you find carefully. If the coin lacks a mint mark, you've likely found the rarer version. But that's not all. You'll want to examine the overall condition of the coin as well. A well-preserved coin can fetch thousands, while a heavily worn one might only be worth a few $100s. If you think you've found a 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, the next step is to get it properly graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can help determine its authenticity and condition. A certified coin is much more likely to fetch a high price at auction or through private sales. Once graded, these coins are highly desirable to collectors who specialize in mint errors, and they can sell for well over $100,000 at the right auction, sometimes even more. So there you have it, folks. The 1978 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel is one of those rare finds that can be worth millions if you happen to get your hands on one in top condition. If you think you've found one, make sure to examine it carefully, get it graded, and perhaps you're holding the next big numismatic treasure. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Happy coin hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. We're diving into a hidden gem in the world of numismatics, the 1980p mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. Now, this isn't just any ordinary coin. Believe it or not, some of these coins are worth millions of dollars. How is that possible? Let's find out. The 1980 Jefferson nickel was minted in Philadelphia with the P mint mark, signaling that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938. The reverse of the coin features an image of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's iconic plantation home in Virginia, symbolizing his legacy. Produced in large quantities in 1980, millions of these nickels were distributed. But like all coins, a select few were struck with rare imperfections or unique characteristics that make them highly valuable to collectors. So, what makes the 1980p Jefferson nickel worth millions? Well, it all comes down to certain rare features that some of these coins possess. Specifically, we're talking about misprints, minting errors, and in extremely rare cases, uncirculated examples that are in perfect condition. One of the most valuable versions of this coin features a double die obverse where the image of Jefferson's portrait and the Liberty inscription appear doubled due to a minting error. Coins with such errors can be worth tens of thousands, if not more, depending on the severity of the flaw. The real jackpot comes when you find a coin in perfect condition, uncirculated and with no signs of wear. A flawless 1980p Jefferson nickel can fetch anywhere from a few $1,000s to well over $1 million, depending on the demand and the specific error. So, why are collectors willing to pay millions for a single 1980p Jefferson nickel? The answer lies in the rarity and the unique history behind these errors. Coins with imperfections are often sought after because they are one of a kind. The rarer the flaw, the higher the price tag. Some of the most famous sales of these rare nickels have gone for astronomical amounts at auctions, proving just how much collectors are willing to pay for a piece of American history. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a 1980p Jefferson nickel, how can you tell if it's worth millions? First, inspect the coin carefully for any noticeable errors, like the double die we mentioned earlier. You'll want to check the date, the mint mark, and the images on both sides under magnification. Next, make sure to get your coin professionally graded by a certified numismatist. Grading is crucial because it determines the coin's condition and value. Only coins that are graded high enough, usually MS-65 or higher, will have a chance at being worth big money. If you think you have one of these rare coins, it's time to consider selling it. You can list it on auction sites like eBay, but for coins with significant value, it's often best to work with a reputable coin dealer or auction house. Make sure to get multiple appraisals to understand the true worth of your coin. So, the 1980p Monticello Jefferson nickel is a fascinating coin with a rich history and the potential for incredible value. If you're lucky enough to find one with a rare error or in pristine condition, you could be holding a coin worth millions of dollars. Always keep your eyes open for those hidden treasures. You never know what you might find in your pocket change. We're diving into the fascinating world of a rare and often overlooked coin, the 1961 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. You might be surprised to learn that this seemingly ordinary nickel could be worth millions of dollars. Let's take a closer look at its history, rarity, and why this coin is so valuable to collectors. The year 1961 was a transformative time in American history. The nation was in the midst of the Cold War, and the space race was heating up. On the numismatic front, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins, including the Jefferson nickel, which had been in circulation since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse of the Jefferson nickel features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. On the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, standing proud as the centerpiece. But what makes the 1961 no-mint mark so special? Well, let's talk about that. Most U.S. coins, including nickels, have a mint mark indicating where they were struck, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark for coins minted in Philadelphia. However, in 1961, something strange happened. Some Jefferson nickels were released without a mint mark, leading to a great deal of confusion and speculation among collectors. Though the 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel seems like a simple error, it actually turned out to be a rare and incredibly sought-after find. In the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint produced several coins in Philadelphia without mint marks, which was quite unusual. This scarcity, combined with the coin's age, makes it a collector's dream. Now, you may be asking, why is this coin worth millions? It all comes down to its rarity and historical significance. Coins without mint marks are much rarer than their marked counterparts, and a 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in mint condition can fetch astounding prices at auction. In recent years, 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels in near-perfect condition have been sold for over $1 million at major coin auctions. The exact value depends on the coin's grade, whether it's been preserved in a near-mint state or has visible wear and tear. If you think you might have one of these rare coins in your collection, here's how to identify it. Check the reverse of the coin near the bottom, where the mint mark is usually placed. If you see no mint mark, and the coin is from 1961, you could be holding onto a valuable treasure. Remember, the condition of your coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing better quality. If you believe you found a 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, it's best to have it professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. This can ensure you get the true value of your coin. Who knew that a simple nickel from 1961 could be worth so much? This coin, with its lack of a mint mark and historical context, is a true rarity in the world of numismatics. If you find one in your collection, be sure to hold on to it. It might just be worth millions. We're diving into a coin that has become a holy grail for collectors, the 1981 D-Mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. This coin holds a fascinating history, and believe it or not, it could be worth millions of dollars. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our in-depth coin guides and hidden gems of the numismatic world. Let's start with the basics. This is the 1981 Jefferson nickel, minted at the Denver Mint. The coin features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by artist Felix Schlag, and it also showcases Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse. The 1981 issue is part of a long-standing tradition in the United States, but it's the 1981D mint mark variation that's captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was not only a founding father, but also an influential figure in shaping the country's ideals. He had a deep connection to Monticello, his plantation in Virginia, which became the symbol of his architectural vision. The coin's design features a classic view of Monticello, making it a tribute to Jefferson's legacy. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1981D Monticello Jefferson nickel so extraordinary. While most coins from the 1981 series can be found in circulation for face value, just 5 cents, there's a rare and highly sought-after version that has become a collector's dream. It's a particular minting anomaly, and finding it is no small feat. Back in 1981, the Denver Mint struck billions of coins. However, due to the meticulous minting process, some of the 1981D Jefferson nickels left the mint with rare, high-quality errors that set them apart from the rest. These anomalies, often in the form of unique die cracks, double die errors, or specific strikes, have significantly increased their value. Coins with these types of errors are extremely rare. A 1981D nickel with a noticeable double die error, where you can see the images and letters being struck twice, or a die crack that stretches across the coin, can fetch impressive prices. But here's the kicker. The most extraordinary 1981D Monticello Jefferson nickels have been valued at millions of dollars. In fact, some of these rare 1981D Monticello nickels have sold at auctions for amounts in the millions, making them some of the most valuable nickels in modern history. The rarity of these coins has caught the eye of both collectors and investors alike, driving their prices sky high. So, how do you know if your 1981D Monticello nickel is worth millions? The key is in the details. If you find a 1981D coin with noticeable errors, like die cracks, double die, or even other unique characteristics, it could be a jackpot. But even without such errors, some collectors will pay a premium for an uncirculated or high-grade version of the coin. Coin grading plays a significant role in determining the value of these rare nickels. Coins graded MS65 and higher, for example, can command a premium, and errors can push that price to unimaginable heights. Be sure to get your coins professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, to accurately assess their value. Now that you know how to identify these rare treasures, you might be wondering how to find one. The best advice? Always keep an eye on your pocket change. You never know when you might come across an unassuming nickel that could be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newbie just starting, these rare coins are worth the search. If you found this video interesting and you want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot hidden treasures in your collection, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And, as always, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have questions about coin collecting. We're diving deep into a coin that could very well be hiding in your collection, or maybe even in your pocket right now. Today's focus is the 1974 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. A coin with a fascinating history, some serious rarity, and yes, it's worth millions of dollars. But before we get to how valuable this coin is, let's first talk about the history behind the 1974 Jefferson nickel. As with all Jefferson nickels, this coin features the famous portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag. The reverse side of the coin depicts Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home in Virginia, which has been part of the design since 1938. But here's the twist. The 1974 issue had a very rare mistake that could make it incredibly valuable. Typically, all U.S. coins made after 1930 have a mint mark that tells you where they were struck. For most of the 1974 Jefferson nickels, you'll find a D mint mark indicating they were struck at the Denver Mint, or an S mint mark for coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1974 Jefferson nickels were released with no mint mark at all. That's right, a 1974 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. It was a mistake caused by a small production error, which meant that the mint forgot to include the mint mark on some of these coins. While this is a common type of error in coin production, The value of these no-mint mark nickels skyrockets due to their rarity and unique mistake. So, how much is this mistake worth? The 1974 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars in great condition. But the real jackpot is when you find one with a gem-quality finish, uncirculated, or even in a pristine slabbed condition. In fact, the rarest versions of this coin have been known to fetch up to $1 million at auction. That's right, a simple mistake by the US Mint could mean a fortune for you. Now, how can you tell if your 1974 Jefferson nickel is one of these ultra-rare no-mint mark versions? Well, first, you'll need to take a close look at the reverse side of the coin. If it's missing the D or S mint mark right under the F in E pluribus unum, you could be holding a very valuable coin. But beware, there are also many counterfeits out there, so make sure to have your coin authenticated by a professional to ensure its value. So what's the bottom line? If you have a 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, you might just be sitting on a fortune. These coins are rare, and their value can reach astronomical heights, depending on the condition. If you find one, don't waste any time. Get it appraised by a professional and consider getting it certified by one of the major grading companies, like PCGS or NGC.